Hi everyone, it's Anna from PNW Blanks and Sublimation, and today I wanted to do another tutorial in the new Pacific Twilight PNW Sublimation press, and we're just going to press a matte 20-ounce skinny tumbler today. So if you've watched other videos, then you've seen the one where I show you how I wrap my tumblers. I use only 3 pieces of tape, super time saver, and it allows you to do the peak test after you've pressed your tumbler. So we have our press set for 360 degrees target temperature, 365 degrees printing temperature, and 30 seconds. Once we put our tumbler in and close it, the temperature is going to go down. So you can see it's going to go down and then it's going to rise back up. This is because you're introducing a cold object into a hot heating element. So you'll see that it goes down and then it will rise back up as soon as, see, it's stopping about 338. It's going to start coming back up. Once it reaches that printing temperature of 365 degrees, it'll start counting down. All right, it didn't take that long for it to get back up to 360 degrees. Now it's going to go past that 360 up to 365 and then start its countdown. So you can see it moves pretty quickly. We're already at 362, 363. So once it gets to 365, then it'll start to count down. 365 degrees, and now it's counting down from that 30 seconds. Once the timer hits 0, it's going to do one long consistent beep until you open the press, and then you will rotate it 180 degrees. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, or 5 seconds. So there's that beep. Go ahead and open it. We're going to rotate our tumbler 180 degrees, and then we're not going to close it right away. We're actually going to wait for it to get back down to that original temperature of 360 degrees. The reason we do this is because we want the second side, the second rotation, so it's 360, close it back up. We want that second rotation to be in the press for just as long as the first rotation. That way you're making sure you're getting nice, even heating results. So it's going to climb back up again to that 365 degrees, and then it'll count down again for 30 seconds, and our tumbler will be done. So you see it's at that 365 degrees, and it's counting down once again. All right, our second rotation is done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. And now comes the best part of using 3 pieces of tape. We call this the PNW peak test. So you go ahead and peel back just the bottom piece of tape there and see how the bottom is a little bit, just trying to show you in the light. See how it's a little bit of white spots down there at the bottom still? So normally I do my tumblers at 40 seconds. I purposely did them at 30 seconds. I do my 20-ounce tumblers at 40. I purposely did this one at 30 seconds so I could show you this. So this means that we can actually just go ahead and put that back together. Put that piece of tape back on it. Sorry, it's a little bit hot. Okay, so we went ahead and replaced that piece of tape on the bottom. Then we're going to do the same thing to the top. Maybe. If I can get my nail in there. All right, do the same thing to the top. And the top actually looks pretty good, but it could probably go for just a little bit longer. So what we're going to do, since both top and bottom could use another 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so, I'm actually going to stick the whole tumbler back in with the seam completely down. So tape is down. Before we did it facing us, then we did it away from us. We're going to do it facing down because those white spots were just along the seam. So we're just going to hit it again with just a little bit more time. And you can actually basically avoid having to do this by making sure that you are calibrated and you have your sweet spot with your temperatures and your time. Like I said, I normally do my tumblers at 40 seconds. Each side, I did it purposely for this video at 30 seconds, just so you can see how to resolve this issue. So it's gonna once again drop down in temperature, go back up, rise up together with tumbler and element, heating up to that 365 degrees. And then it's going to count down 30 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and test it, or go ahead and take a look at it. So one thing I did forget to mention is if you had just the top or just the bottom that you needed to redo, I'm just going to stop that just to show you guys. So what you can do is just put the bottom end back in if you wanted, if you just needed to hit the bottoms, or you can put just the top end back in if you just need to fix a little spot on your top there, like that. So if you can see that. So that is another way to address white spots if you happen to get them. But the ultimate way to deal with white spots is to make sure that you have found your sweet spot on your press. So now when we go ahead and do our peak, then you can see that looks so much better. And then let's look at the top. Maybe. Yeah, look at that top. That top is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so we are all set. We can remove this last piece of tape here and unwrap it to reveal our design. And there you go. So there is, it's on a matte tumbler, so that dirt actually kind of looks like real dirt. It's pretty awesome. So it says Dirt and Diamonds, and I got this design off of Etsy. And the leopard lines up actually pretty well there, and it looks really good. So there is a 20-ounce matte tumbler using the PNW Deluxe Sublimation Press in the new color, Pacific Twilight. And let me go ahead and turn that off. And it's also a video about troubleshooting if you're getting white spots. So ways that you can either combat them, prevent them from happening in the first place, make sure you're calibrated, make sure you have your sweet spot with your temperatures and time. Or if you do get, some random white spots, you have your sweet spot, but there's just one design that's being a little bit finicky, then there's a couple different ways that you can resolve that by either putting the tumbler back in just halfway and rotating it, or putting the whole tumbler back in for a second rotation and a third time. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also make sure to join our Facebook group for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. You can find matte tumblers and the PNW Press on both Anna and Elena's websites. I'll make sure to link both those sites in the description below. You could go to pnwsub.com and you'll see 3 different shops that you can shop from. pnwblanksanna.com, pnwblankselena.com, and pnwblanksdawn.com for a large variety of sublimation items. Happy pressing!